wanted to report progress. Look, if you look over there in the holding cell, we have 4 brand new villagers that we didn't have before. And so these guys are doing their business. And I've shut the farm off because we don't really have a need for any villagers right now. And they do cause lag. So this is fine. But I wanted to give this thing a test. And so, ooh, getting some lag here. I'm not sure what that's from. Um, anyway, the things we were kind of worried about are one, this. It, I watched several babies sit there and grow up, and nobody tried to escape, so that was good. They all went up here where we need them. And now we're going to test the second thing I'm a little worried about, which is this good enough to bring them up there? Bring them all the way up without having powered rails here. So anyway, let's just give it a try. All we have to do is push the button. Oh, just barely. And so he went in the water stream there. That's good. And up he goes. And our minecart fell right down there. And it'll just stay there. It won't despawn in that state. But let's go ahead and put it back here. Okay, so let's go up and see how that guy fared. We'll check our iron farm on the way out. Still see it they light up when it's filling. When that top hopper up there gets more than 18, I think, is what triggers the redstone signal that's powerful enough to power that lantern. Actually, that's strong enough to get to the repeater. Powers that lantern. Oh, dude, you were like, everybody hates me. Everybody hates me. Nobody likes me. Guess I'll go eat worms. As I was watching one of the previous videos, I'm getting ready. I've recorded all this and I haven't published anything yet because I'm kind of hoping that that I learn how to use some editing software. I got some now, Power Director. I don't know if that's a good one to use or not. Anyway, I closed that off so you don't see that mess under there. And let's just check to make sure our villager got where we needed him. Look, there he is. There he is. He is trying to force his way out, but he can't. Can't, dude. Just give it up. There's no place for him to go. So he's just going to wander around up there. I guess that's fine. Guess that's fine. But it dumped him in here, and he can't get out. That water stream is preventing him from escaping. And so he's just going to hang out up there. That's good. Everything works, guys. That's actually amazing when you consider who built this. So there we go. And don't know if you noticed something, but as we exit our hidey hole here, guess what's not in our way now? Anyway, there's our view of the castle. Cool. So anyway, guys, next time, or actually when we come back, I will have material that we need to go out and begin a raid farm. So thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next. See you when we come back. Well, okay, we are back, and I just turned my shaders on just for a little bit. I'm not going to leave them on, but I wanted to go ahead and take a look at the Trader Castle. One more thing I want you to notice before we get busy with what we're really going to do in this episode is I have tried to improve the looks of that. I don't know if that's a big improvement or not, but I replaced the glass blocks with panes. And so they're pretty unobtrusive now. I could have done a similar strategy on the sides, but I thought it looked kind of okay with those bands there. And since there's an even number, it was hard to kind of space them out properly. But anyway, so those are the two changes. And I want to show you this. These are all the materials we're going to need to build our raid farm. So I'm anxious to get going, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So I've actually got a spot picked out that I think will be good. It's out in the ocean. Obviously, that's where you build most of these raid farms. But it's out in the ocean that direction. And it should be easy for us to go to the pillager outpost and get Bad Omen. And then there's a clear path out to the ocean from there that would not, cause us to fly over this village or some other village like that. Those villages right up there that would trigger a raid. Those will trigger a raid, and we do not want a raid here at our base. So anyway, guys, I'm going to get a little bit organized and try to transport those materials. It's going to take more than one trip to get all that out there, even with my ender chest, I think. But I'll get it all out to where we're going to build and bring you all back when we get there and get ready. Okay, everyone, we are back, and I've done a couple of things. We are using some new equipment, guys, so hopefully my technical problems might be behind me. I bought a new mic. I hope it sounds better. If it doesn't, I'll keep making adjustments. I understand that these mics, they're, not the best mic in the world. I used to have a really awesome mic that I used for music recording, but there was just so much setup, a preamp and all kinds of equipment to go with it. I just didn't have room for it all. So I just bought this little blue, I can't remember what it's called. If anyone's interested, I'll post it. But it's a pretty good mic, I think, for this kind of application. And I bought some extra storage. I bought a 5 terabyte external hard drive. I bought one of those WD Black gaming drives. I don't think it's SD. I think it's mechanical. It's pretty darn slow. I'm kind of disappointed at how slow it is. But anyway, hopefully my problems are solved. So anyway, let's get back to business here. We're out in the ocean, and if you look carefully over my shoulder, that's not the right angle. Let's see if we can, there. Yeah, if you look carefully over this shoulder, you can see that's where that little seaside village is that we had passed when we were looking for other villages. And so I've done a little pre-work. One of the things you can see behind me, I went over there and got one of those villagers to be a volunteer and put him in a boat and brought him out here with me into the ocean, where I think is a good suitable spot for our farm. And then if you look over here, I've done just a little bit of setup work to get us started. And there's a big ravine down there with bubbles that'll break our boat if we're not careful. So I just made a start here mostly I just wanted to get a platform so I could put our ender chest and everything and try to get organized. But this is the beginning of the farm, and that's going to be a bubble column that eventually we can, it's just to get oriented. The pillager outpost is off in that direction. So we're going to go over there, kill a captain, get Bad Omen, run down to the seashore. This is all before we have Elytra. Get in a boat and then boat ourselves over here as fast as we can, and then shoot ourselves up in a bubble column up to the right level where we can start. Because when we come close to this thing, we're going to trigger a raid, because this is going to be a village. All it's going to be is a villager in there standing in front of a composter, a workstation, and that is all it takes to have a village. Oh, I see we're getting some friends down here. Don't hurt my villager. So I've got to get this villager in that spot, and I need to do it pretty quickly. So let's do that now so he's safe and sound. Let me see here. Okay, I think if I just boat him up here, turn on hitboxes so I don't damage him. I think if I break the boat, he'll just go in there. I'm hoping. Break the boat. Go on, dude. That's your workstation. Why doesn't he want to go to his workstation? We need to have a talk, Mr. Villager. So, do I need to wait for daytime? Wish I understood this a little better. Sometimes it doesn't matter at the villager trading. Oh, there he goes. There he goes. Okay. Come on, pal. Don't monkey around here. Oh, now he took his... Don't dive off in the water. I don't want to have to build all this temporary stuff. Go in. Okay, we're back, and I've cleaned up all those temporary blocks. I left that one just to demonstrate, show you something that if you don't already know. But anyway, that villager is in his little chamber there in front of the composter, and I don't know if this matters a whole lot, but this is exactly the directional method that Logic built his farm. So if you look at the composter towards the villager who's standing directly behind it, you should be facing in the south direction, and that's what we're doing. If you look up in the upper left-hand corner, I just wanted to show you this little trick in case you don't know it. If you want to place a block out here in the middle of the water, I mean, I used to swim down to the bottom and pillar my way up all the time. But if you have a lily pad, you can just pop a lily pad down and then place a block next to it. So anyway, that's just a little trick. We can get rid of everything now. Okay, so now we're ready to make a start here. We've got our villager, and he's in the right spot, and the most important thing about this farm is the exact location of this composter. Now, if you can see in the upper left corner, the position of our composter is minus 23, 66. The Y level is critical. It's at height 66, and then the Z direction is negative 739. So we've written that down. That's going to be very important. When everything's said and done, when we look directly above here, way up in the air, is going to be the corner, one of the corners of our spawning platform, and all that is directionally critical and everything. Okay, so here we are on this platform. I just built this little platform. So if you watch Logic's tutorial, the only difference between what I've done here and him is he built his platform off on this side over here. That
I'm hoping that doesn't make any difference. This is just the way that we're going to use to get up in the air. And since we're going to be boating in from that direction, you know, from the south, I just built it here. So anyway, our next challenge is to get this thing up to the right height. And we have to go up to Y level 160 with this elevator. So Y level 160. Why don't I be smart about this? And then we'll take this with us. Sorry, I'm being really weird. So here we are. I'll just, I don't know why, but I'll keep that. So we're going to go up in the air to Y level 160 with this. And that's going to be pretty boring, so I'm going to just cut it here, and we'll pick you up when we get to the right level. Okay, guys, we are back, and we're up here a ways. There's our village down there, and you can, if you look at the right-hand screen again, you can see we're at level Y level 158. So we got 2 more blocks to go, and we'll be at the right height. So there we are. And so the first thing we need to do is just convert this to a bubble column. So unfortunately, I forgot to bring kelp and bone meal with me, but that's not a problem because we're out here in the ocean. There's a lot of kelp, so we don't really need bone meal if we have enough kelp. Bone meal's a more cooler way to do it because you place only 1 kelp and then you stay at the bottom as you. Where are those guys coming from? Look at that. Did you see that? There are creepers floating up out of the ocean. My goodness. I didn't think I'd have to worry about creepers out here. I cannot believe that. Did you see that? I mean, they must be coming up out of a cave or something. Creepers flying up out of the middle of the ocean. They came right up out of this hole. Look at this. It's a big ravine. There's all kinds of mobs down there that might come flying up. Well, I don't know. Most of those mobs sink. Creepers float, I guess. Look, there's more. Did we pick a bad spot? Might have. That's the darndest thing I've ever seen. I'm glad I got it on camera. All right, what do we have that we don't have? We got plenty. So we got a lot of kelp here. Okay. You guys tell me if you see a creeper sneaking up on us. Oh. That's amazing. That'd be some way to use that as a prank on somebody. So this way we'll just place kelp as we swim to the top. And then we'll of course have to jump back down and break the kelp. So the cool thing about the other method is that you just stay at the bottom and bone meal your kelp until your bone meal quits working, and that lets you know you've reached the top. And then you're down there already, so you just break it. So anyway, not a big deal, but a little bit cooler. The cool kids do it that way. So here we are at the top. Let's jump down and avoid the creepers and go break our kelp. That should give us a bubble column. Here we go. It's always good to test it anyway, so up we go. There. So mission accomplished on the first phase. Well, okay, guys, I kind of lost track with this episode is kind of a transitional episode in that part of it was recorded with my old, technology, and then I changed in the middle and had some technical challenges, and so sorry for the inconsistency here, but we are at the end. I think this is a good place to stop, and we'll pick this up when we in the next episode, guys. I appreciate you watching, and we'll see you next time.